Hey everyone, Thordan Smash here, and today we are out exploring Colorado, but we're also going to talk about Respawn's new Star Wars game and what it means for potential collaboration with Apex Legends. We're going to go over all of that. We're also going to go ahead and give out a prestige skin. All you got to do is like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. Without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. Alright, Legends, we might finally be getting the crossover that Apex players have been memeing about since day one. Forget Bloodhound's Raven, forget Watson Fences, forget Pathfinder's endless hi friend spam. Apex Legends might actually be crossing paths with Star Wars, which is weird because EA had the license and they still didn't do anything really during that time, but whatever. And before we get Lightspeed into the details, I just want to go ahead and go over the fact that I actually leaked this back on February 10th. We've covered it in a video before. That being said, because of that person gave me correct information, I also know what some of the skin designs are going to be, so we're going to cover that as well. And also, this could be Apex's biggest event of all time. 2 heirlooms, a mythic death box, 8 iconic collab skins, and possibly a tie into EA's next Star Wars game, which makes sense that it would be coming out next year. So let's start with the headline. Yes, that is right. Apex might drop 2 heirlooms in the same event, which is, pretty rare. Normally Respawn drip feed heirlooms like they're the rarest resource in the galaxy. We're lucky if we get one every 2 months. This time, files reference a saber heirloom, which makes sense, lightsaber, and a whip heirloom. The saber is, well, like I said, obvious. People have begged for a lightsaber style heirloom for years. It's practically printing money, but the whip heirloom, that's where things get a little interesting. Star Wars has featured energy whips before, most famously with Asajj Ventress, so imagine swinging a glowing whip around as your melee animation. It's flashy, it's extra, and it's exactly the kind of over-top monetization EA and their new Saudi partners are going to drool over. And if you thought that was it, nope. The whip heirloom is also tied to a mythic death box. Now onto the iconic skins, which I said I would go over. If you don't know what iconic is, it's Apex's collab only tier. We actually saw it with the Final Fantasy and the Post Malone event, and now Respawn is about to roll out 8 Star Wars skins, so it's likely going to be one of those. And my source that told me about this back in February was able to give me some of the skins. These aren't 100% confirmed, they could always change, but this was the last I had heard. One is that Alter is Asajj Ventress, bald, scary, dual-wielding vibes, check. Catalyst is Ahsoka, lightsaber is Crystal, Force with energy, fits kind of like a glove. Crypto is Grad Animal Thrawn because if anyone looks like he stares at spreadsheets for fun, it's Crypto. Gibraltar is Chewbacca, big, loud, tanky. He's pretty much already halfway there. Mirage is Han Solo because, well, Mirage thinks he's charming and important, and Han Solo actually is. Close enough. Octane is Darth Maul, which I actually think is a really cool one. Maul flips around like a maniac with no long-term plan, literally Octane's personality. Revenant is General Grievous. 4 arms, lots of salt, dies to Obi-Wan. Honestly, it's just Revenant lore at this point. And Valkyrie is Boba Fett, which actually makes a lot of sense with the jetpacks, one-liners, and questionable parenting issues. Nailed it. This isn't just fan service, this is Respawn saying, we're going to cosplay your main so hard that you forget that Apex has server issues. And trust me, the second people see Revenant in a General Grievous skin spinning his heirloom like 4 lightsabers, lobbies are going to get toxic. So this seems to be coming around the time of Season 28, and some of it will be pretty interesting. Imagine a squad of 3 Octanes and Wildcard dressed as Darth Maul, stim slamming straight into the firing squad. Revenant, Grievous, Crab walking at you in full nightmare mode. The collab really isn't just about skins, it's going to completely change the vibe of Apex, and I'm kind of here for it. I love Star Wars personally. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, we've seen fake Star Wars leaks before, and that's true. This community has more fake lightsaber renders than Watson has excuses for missing fences, but there is a reason this one holds weight. Not only have I heard about it, but Dataminers have found file evidence. Saber heirloom, whip heirloom, iconic skin tags, all in the code. It's Respawn's playbook for collabs. And then there's also consistency. It mirrors Final Fantasy and Post Malone. Same structure, heirloom skins, themed, and cosmetics. We haven't gotten a collab event in a very long time. And then timing, it lines up with EA's marketing strategy for their upcoming Star Wars game. This isn't just a fan mock-up, this is Respawn quietly setting the stage for the biggest cash grab of their fiscal year, which is, once again, going to their new Saudi partners. Like I said, this thing ties into EA's upcoming Star Wars game, which is Zero Company, dropping in 2026. Reportedly, it's single-player, maybe even turn-based Star Wars experience, which, let's be honest, is a niche sell. Apex, meanwhile, has millions of active players. What better marketing funnel than to drop Star Wars directly into Apex and remind every player, hey, go pre-order Zero Company, please. We beg you. And they also have the whole Cal Kestis game coming out, which I'm also really hyped for. Like I said, the target window for this seems to be Season 28 or February and March of 2026, which, oh wow, look at that! EA's fiscal year ends around the same time. Shocking. I don't know if they're going to still have to do a fiscal quarterly review with, stockholders, but they will still have something to do with the Saudis, and they probably want to bump things up to make them a little bit more appreciative of what Respawn does. But that's pretty much everything we know about the new Star Wars event. We're going to jump into community clips now. Don't forget to submit your own to me at Thordan Smash on Twitter, but without further ado, let's roll.
Semi shields. Took out Jedi. knuckle cluster. We put down the last of that squad.
Yes. An enemy shield. I downed an enemy.
Not gonna lie, that was great.
Tossing a grenade. Reloading. No more storms.
Enemy taken down. Flag out.
Enemy killed.
Last squad. Go one. Two. Three.
There's someone over there. An enemy. Watch out, enemy there. There's someone over there. I cracked an enemy shield.
What are your guys' thoughts on a Star Wars crossover, and do you think it would be a good addition? Also, don't forget to check out this video right here where I cover more news on Apex Legends on the daily, and until next time, everyone, keep slaying the Outlands. I'll see you out there.